Hey guys, welcome back to Salem the Crafting MMO, and in this video we're gonna be talking about making some early game silver, some money making by yourself, as in you can always sell things to other players, but that's not always an easy way to start. Let's talk about the ways that you can make silver by yourself and just doing things by yourself and not interacting with other players. I know it's an MMO, but interacting with other players can be scary, so let's talk about how we can do it by ourselves. And as always, remember there's a link in the description box down below. It's a referral link that if you click it and make an account with Salem, it supports me, it supports the game, and encourages me to make more content. But you know how a referral link works, don't you? Okay, so basically, how do we make some money by ourselves? Okay, so let's have a look at my inventory. I've got a few things prepped up for you, and you can see here I've been getting busy with some other stuff over there on the right side. You might notice I've got some farming and agriculture going in there, but we're not going to be talking about agriculture in this video. We're talking about making some moolah, some cash. So let's have a look. I've got a dried squirrel pelt, where in the last video we did some hunting, and you can pick up squirrels and dry their pelts, and we got one of those. We also got dried rabbit skin, so we can go ahead and dry those and pick those up. And as you can see here in this little thing, I've got two dried squirrel pelts here, which are also nice. Let's bring those along with us. Remember, I just shift clicked there to transfer things between inventories. So we got those from hunting, and also in terms of killing crickets, those are also quite valuable, but more difficultly so, because you have to craft something with them. So let's go into craft, and it's under inspirationals, and I think it's under there we go, collections and potpourris, right here in the top left, collections and potpourri, and we got a cricket team, and a cricket team takes 11 dead wartbite crickets. So 11 seems like quite a lot, but you can get that in maybe, if you can find a couple patches of crickets, you could do it in 15 minutes, half an hour max if you have trouble finding crickets, but crickets are pretty common. So I killed 11 of them, and I have a cricket team right here in my inventory. And also the other thing that you can get, which is pretty readily available, is if you go ahead and get the skill Indian tracking. You can see Indian tracking affords you greater success when searching for plants and people. And as far as I know, Indian tracking also increases the appearance of Indian feathers and Indian arrowheads, which are quite important. So you need the skill hide working to get these hides, the squirrels' pelts and the rabbit skins, and then Indian tracking to have great success at these Indian feathers and Indian arrowheads. And from the Indian feather and Indian arrowhead, we can go back into craft, inspirationals, and right there it's a savage charm. So let's go ahead and craft this savage charm as well. There we go, crafting a savage charm. And we got a savage charm right here in our inventory. So let's close that. And of course, you can actually wear a savage charm. If you actually looked at my character in the past few episodes, you can see there's a savage charm around my neck. And I'm wearing that just for funs and decoration and stuff like that. But we got now some pelts, savage charm, and cricket teams. So these things can be readily sold in the marketplaces of Providence. And you also might notice that why I'm mentioning agriculture over here is because I've gone and made some yellow stained cotton cloth. Now this yellow stained, the ability to produce cotton cloth, determines pretty much when you go to the next stage of the game. Now Salem works like this. Basically, when you start out, you're going to be walking around a lot, like a lot, just to find all these basic things, like these hunting things. Squirrel pelts, you got to walk around. Rabbit skins, you got to walk around. Savage charm, you got to walk around. Cricket team, you got to walk around and do some hunting. But yellow stained cotton cloth is the first way to your next level of livelihood, where you are no longer walking around, you're staying put. So obviously this is going to take place after settling, but as this is a making money video, I got to talk about this. So basically you got to plant some cotton, you get these yellow stained cottons, and this machine over here is what brings you to the next level of economics. This little thing here, if you go into build, and it's under tools and utilities, it's under loom. Now, getting to this point is very, very difficult because building a loom takes dried planks, and that actually is very, very difficult to make and very time consuming. And even getting the skill to plant cotton, if we go up here, cotton planting, There we go, cotton planting. It takes 2,600 stocks and cultivars, but that seems like quite a lot, but you can actually reach that quite easily. If you go north of Providence, you'll find these sunny sunflowers, and that provides stocks and cultivars quite readily. So if you get a whole bunch of sunny sunflowers from that area just north of Providence, you're going to be absolutely fine. So let's travel into Providence now. I'm going to go ahead and teleport back. Adventure, travel, Providence. And of course, I need to be close to my homestead here. There we go. So let's go to Adventure, Travel, Providence. Traveling back into Providence. Let's avoid these plague alts here. Now, any of these sort of white roofed stalls over here. So let's go ahead and walk up to one so you have a closer look. These white roof stalls. If you right click on one of these, you're gonna be able to sell and buy. And of course, there's some interesting things to buy. The first thing obviously you should buy is a pilgrim's purse, otherwise your inventory is going to be filled with loose change. And you can see here I've equipped a pilgrim's purse and I currently have 86 pieces of silver. It holds 500 and it only costs 5, so that's very, very easy. But if you right click on the stall and click on sell, you can now sell things. So you can see here what they sell. You can sell a gold bar, but we don't have one of those. But they do buy dried squirrel pelts for 1 silver, Indian arrowheads for 2, Indian feathers for 12. We're not going to sell that because combining these two makes it worth a lot more. Leather, we don't really have access to that. Dried argo pelt, we don't have that. Beaver pelts, bear skins, wish push hide. Any dried hide is 4. So this is basically your rabbit skins. Bar of bubbly soap, we don't have that. And there's your cotton cloth worth 15. And you can see a savage charm is worth 30 and a cricket team is worth 22. So we have quite a lot to sell here. So let's bring up our inventory. And first thing, I'm also going to bring up my character sheet here so I can check my money as it goes right into the purse here. Gonna sell these dried squirrel pelts. So once you click on sell, it changes your cursor to this sort of cross. Just click on the things you're selling. There we go. And it adds straight into that. I've got 89 pieces of silver now because squirrel pelts are pretty worthless. But the rabbit skin should be worth 4. I've now got 93 pieces of silver. And then I'm gonna sell my savage charm, which is worth 30. Now we've got 123 pieces of silver. Then I'm gonna sell my cricket team worth 22. And I've got 145 pieces of silver, and I do have these 2 yellow stained cotton cloths worth 15 each, so might as well. So I'm going to sell one and sell the other. And now I'm up to 175 pieces of silver. And this is basically how you're going to be making money by yourself. So let's go ahead and adventure travel back to our home. And as you can see, hopefully you get the concept of how making money and in general lifestyle works in Salem. We're gonna be moving around a lot at the start, walking around, hunting, killing, foraging, but as the game goes on, you start settling down. Once you actually settle, you can start some farms, get some cotton planting going. This loom, of course, is much further ahead with dry planks. It's hard to produce, but you'll eventually get there. And basically this machine brings you to the next level of basically lifestyle in Salem. And of course you can imagine once you can produce cotton cloth, I've just got 2 fields here. You can go ahead and plant 10 or 20 of these things if you want and get some cotton production really going. And that's when you can really start supporting yourself. So we haven't done the reach the settling video just yet, but I wanted to talk about early money making because you can't really settle without money. To get a personal claim going and actually settle out in the wilderness without being under a village, you actually gotta get some money first to get your personal claim going. Once you got your personal claim going and got some defenses up, then you can start some planting quite confidently, because your personal claim requires money to maintain. You can't just have one for free. So that basically covers the early game money making. Remember, squirrels, rabbits, crickets, savage charms. And then later on, when you want to settle down and actually get some production of materials going, cotton planting is pretty much the easiest way to make some money. And just as a demonstration, what I tried to do to see how much money I could make just from walking around, I spent half an hour looking through all sorts of things. Particularly, you want to look in stumps and the sort of old logs. Look inside, and you're looking for the arrowheads, the feathers, And sometimes you'll even find just straight up silver. I found 5 silver just lying about, and even a snake skin which you can sell for a bit more. And in half an hour I managed to find enough stuff to sell, which amounted to about 120 silver, which is not bad for half an hour's work. I mean, I found a total of 3 feathers, and those plus the arrowheads made 3 savage charms, so that's 90 silver straight away. Then a bunch of arrowheads and stuff like that. So just walking around for half an hour can get you 120 silver, so that's sort of an estimate in terms of how much money you can earn based on time anyway, just from walking around and looking through stumps and old logs. Alright, so that wraps up my early game money making tutorial, and this is of course without selling to other players. If you go sell to other players just by making some deals on the forums is a great place to actually offer things for sale, but also just asking around town, asking people want to buy. You can make sales that way, but of course beware, there are going to be people who cheat you, and you might want to look around on the forums for trustworthy buyers. But I don't want to get into that too much. This video is mainly about how to make money by yourself, because that's sort of the most straightforward way of doing it. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.